Chapter 187. What did you say? Tony asked in surprise. The system spirit stared toward the distant horizon without answering. Neither spoke for several moments. The celebration inside the Clark family estate continued below, yet it felt strangely distant now. The laughter of elders, the noise of servants, and the endless discussions about resources and alliances all seemed insignificant compared to the warning he had just heard. Things that should still be sleeping. The phrase lingered in his mind. Eventually Tony broke the silence. What exactly are these things? He asked again with impatience. The spirit looked at him before releasing a slow breath. Guardian spirits. The answer surprised him. Of all the possibilities he imagined, guardian spirits were not among them. The spirit continued, her voice carrying an unusual seriousness. Every world tree blessing is not merely an inheritance ground. That is the mistake humans always make. They see opportunities and treasures, so they assume the place exists for them. The truth is the opposite. The world tree existed long before human civilizations appeared. The blessings, fruits, inheritances, and seeds are merely byproducts of its existence. Tony listened quietly. The world tree protects itself. It always has. Ancient guardian spirits were created for that purpose. Some guard treasures. Some guard pathways. Some guard specific inheritances. Others simply destroy intruders who do not belong there. The more she spoke, the more dangerous the world tree sounded. Tony frowned. If they are guardians, why are you worried? The spirit immediately looked annoyed. Because they should not be awake. That answer made much more sense. The spirit pointed toward the incomplete map floating within the system interface. Normally the outer layers open first. Geniuses enter. They fight. They collect opportunities. Then deeper areas awaken gradually based on talents. That is how the process is supposed to work. Tony understood where the conversation was heading. And because I entered early. The spirit nodded. And because you absorbed chaotic life energy. And because of the Dragon Lord transformation. Congratulations. You accidentally kicked the world tree while it was sleeping. Tony rubbed his forehead. When she described it that way, it sounded considerably worse. The little spirit floated toward him and sat on his thigh. The good news is that most guardians probably remain dormant. The bad news is that if even a few awaken early, the danger level inside the world tree could increase dramatically. Okay, do not confuse me with half guesses. First, I need to know about this. Tony looked toward the dragon soul fragment again. The fragment remained suspended above his palm, glowing faintly beneath the moonlight. Does this have anything to do with the Dragon Lord? The spirit became silent. Tony slowly turned toward her. You know something. The spirit looked away. Tony narrowed his eyes. You definitely know something. The spirit continued looking away. Tony immediately laughed. Every time you do that, it means I am right. The little spirit groaned dramatically before finally giving up. The Dragon Lord inheritance was not supposed to appear yet. Tony froze. What? The Dragon Lord inheritance was not supposed to appear yet, she repeated. It belonged to a deeper layer of the world tree. A much deeper layer. For several seconds Tony simply stared at her. Then his expression became strange. So, you are saying I stole an inheritance ahead of schedule? The spirit pointed a tiny finger at him. Exactly. Tony could not help laughing. The situation sounded ridiculous. Unfortunately, the spirit was not laughing. Do you know what happens when someone removes a cornerstone inheritance from an ancient structure? Tony's smile slowly faded. The spirit answered before he could. The structure changes. For the first time since entering the world tree secretly, Tony realized his actions might have consequences beyond simple rewards. Meanwhile, thousands of kilometers away, the Pacific Ocean continued changing. The giant golden pod surrounding the world tree had become increasingly unstable. Massive cracks spread across its surface like rivers of molten gold. Every few hours, ancient energy leaked into the sky, causing unusual weather patterns across nearby regions. Martial government satellites watched continuously. Martial organizations monitored every development. Countless experts gathered near the ocean. Nobody understood the reason behind the acceleration. Nobody knew the truth. Inside a crystal palace hidden beneath the sea, Luca sat quietly, while several reports floated before her. The old woman's expression had become increasingly grim over the last few days. The timing still bothered her. Everything about the timing bothered her. One report described the accelerated blooming. Another described unusual fluctuations near the world tree. A third described the movements of the demonic sea tribe member, who had secretly escorted Tony into deep waters. Luca read the reports repeatedly. The answers remained the same. Eventually Elsa entered the room carrying her curved blade across one shoulder. You have not slept. Luca ignored the observation. Instead she slid one report across the table. Elsa glanced at it briefly, then frowned. Tony Clark. The old woman nodded. The dates match. Elsa remained silent. Luca continued. The woman who guided him claims she never approached the world tree itself. She only escorted him toward the region. After that, he disappeared. The room became quiet. Elsa finally sat down. Do you think he entered? Luca did not answer immediately. Instead she looked toward the glowing golden silhouette visible beyond the palace windows. I think something major happened. The distinction was subtle. Meanwhile, inside 9 Lotus Academy, another meeting was taking place. Academy Master Da Vinci stood before a massive projection map showing the World Tree region. Around him sat representatives from various organizations, including family elders, sect leaders, and government officials responsible for supervising the upcoming blessing. The atmosphere remained serious. No one discussed rankings. No one discussed business. No one discussed politics. because all of them had received the same report. The world tree would open sooner than expected. Much sooner. Da Vinci tapped the projection map lightly. The opening has accelerated again. How much? 3 days, Da Vinci answered calmly. The room instantly became silent. 3 days. Only 3 days remained. Even Da Vinci appeared slightly surprised by the development. Because according to every historical record, nothing like this had happened before. Far away, on a rooftop illuminated by moonlight, Tony's identity token suddenly vibrated. A golden notification appeared before him. The spirit immediately looked toward it. Both read the message simultaneously. World Tree Blessing opening time updated. 72 hours remaining. Tony stared at the notification, then toward the dragon soul fragment floating above his palm. 3 days. Only 3 days. The waiting was almost over, and somewhere beyond the visible world, hidden inside ancient roots and forgotten chambers beneath the world tree, a pair of golden eyes slowly opened in the darkness. The creature did not move, and after sleeping for countless years, its first thought was surprisingly simple. A dragon lord's scent. Someone had touched a forbidden inheritance. Chapter 188. The Pacific Ocean had transformed into the center of global attention. Civilian ships were no longer permitted within thousands of kilometers of the designated region. Governments from multiple nations established exclusion zones around the surrounding waters, while military fleets appeared one after another, creating layers of security around the area. Satellites continuously monitored the giant golden pod, floating above the ocean, and every major news channel dedicated 24-hour coverage to the phenomenon. The reason was simple. The World Tree Blessing was not merely a martial opportunity. It was an economic event, a political event, a national event. Every fruit, every herb, every inheritance, and every treasure that emerged from the world tree possessed enormous value. Entire industries rose and fell depending on what resources appeared during each opening. Pharmaceutical companies increased investments. Martial corporations adjusted future projections. Resource markets fluctuated daily. Stocks related to cultivation medicine, spirit metals, and martial technology rose dramatically as investors prepared for the wave of discoveries expected to emerge from the blessing. Across countless television channels, experts argued endlessly. The upcoming blessing might be the richest in 50 years. The accelerated blooming indicated unusually dense energy accumulation. Historical records suggested the possibility of rare resources. No, the danger level might also increase. Nobody truly knew. Everyone speculated. Meanwhile, above the Pacific Ocean, the giant golden pod continued developing new cracks. Each crack released streams of ancient light into the heavens. Each crack increased the anticipation. Each crack reminded humanity that the countdown was rapidly approaching zero. Inside 9 Lotus Academy, the atmosphere was entirely different. The excitement remained, but tension had replaced celebration. 263 qualified participants gathered inside the Academy's largest assembly arena. The giant hall stretched hundreds of meters in every direction, yet even such a massive space felt crowded beneath the pressure created by so many geniuses gathered together. Nobody sat alone. Not anymore. Groups had already begun forming. The Frost family occupied one section. The Clark family members occupied another. The Imperial family gathered around Mark Smith. Healing Tower disciples naturally moved toward Emma Rock. Numerous smaller families and independent geniuses quickly sought allies wherever they could find them. Some alliances formed naturally. Others formed through negotiation. Several participants openly exchanged resources in return for protection agreements. A wealthy young master from a commercial family could be seen promising future benefits to 3 stronger participants willing to assist him if danger arose inside the world tree. Nearby, a group from a regional martial organization quietly finalized a mutual defense agreement. Elsewhere, less pleasant discussions occurred. One participant gestured toward a weaker competitor with a sharp look. If you find anything valuable, remember who helped you survive. Otherwise, do not blame us if accidents happen inside. The weaker youth immediately nodded. No one interfered. Everyone understood the reality. Once inside the world tree, laws became weaker. Very few actually trusted one another. At the front of the hall, Emma Rock sat quietly with several Academy disciples. Unlike most groups, they were not discussing profits or protection arrangements. Emma observed the growing chaos, while Natasha stood nearby speaking with several Academy elders. Not far away, Mark Smith remained surrounded by Imperial family representatives. His expression remained calm, yet the once arrogant air had become noticeably quieter since the tournament ended. The giant carrying the iron pillar sat cross-legged near one corner. The bald monk smiled peacefully, while accepting tea from several admirers. Kevin Clark spent half his time discussing opportunities and the other half calculating profits. Leo Clark simply looked exhausted. The noise continued growing. Then, sudden silence. The enormous doors at the front of the hall opened. Academy Master Da Vinci entered. Every conversation stopped. Every gaze turned toward him. Several Academy elders followed behind. Da Vinci walked toward the central platform, while observing the crowd before him. For a moment, he appeared satisfied. These were the future pillars of the martial world, the strongest young generation assembled in decades. Then an Academy elder approached and handed him a report. Da Vinci glanced at it. 263? The elder nodded. Yes, master. Da Vinci looked up. There should be 264. Who died? The hall instantly became silent. Many participants exchanged strange looks. Died? Before entering? That would be ridiculous. The elder hesitated briefly before answering. Nobody died, Master. Then why are we missing one? The elder looked even more uncomfortable. It is Tony Clark. Silence spread throughout the hall. Even Da Vinci paused. Several participants immediately began whispering. The elder continued. He still has not reported. Da Vinci stared at the report for several seconds. Several instructors already expected a furious reaction. Instead, Da Vinci simply folded the report. We will deal with him later. The hall erupted with quiet laughter. Only Tony Clark could make Academy Master Da Vinci react this way. The old master waved his hand. Immediately, hundreds of storage bags appeared in the hands of Academy staff. The bags looked ordinary at first glance, but powerful seals covered their surfaces. Ancient runes intertwined with modern technology, creating a unique design that clearly belonged to the Octopus organization. The atmosphere gradually became serious. Da Vinci addressed the room. Everyone, take one. The participants obeyed. Within moments, every person held a storage bag. The old master waited until the distribution finished before continuing. These bags are not gifts. That sentence immediately attracted attention. Many participants frowned. Da Vinci raised one identical bag. This storage bag serves 3 functions. First, protection. Every bag contains emergency defensive yantras, capable of saving your life once. Second, recording technology. Everything important that happens around you will be automatically recorded. The crowd nodded. Reasonable. Then Da Vinci smiled. The smile immediately made several people nervous. The third function is supervision. The atmosphere changed. Many participants exchanged looks. Supervision? Da Vinci continued calmly. Every treasure, herb, spirit fruit, or artifact, resource, or physical object obtained inside the world tree must be placed inside this bag. The hall erupted. What? Impossible. That is ridiculous. Several people stood immediately. Others began protesting. Da Vinci simply waited. Eventually the noise decreased. Then he delivered the real blow. Upon leaving the world tree, every participant will undergo inspection by the Octopus organization. Complete silence. Several expressions darkened instantly. Everyone understood what that meant. Da Vinci looked around the hall before continuing. Attempting to conceal resources outside the official storage bag will result in confiscation, penalties, and permanent disqualification from future World Tree blessings. The crowd immediately became restless again. Many participants clearly disliked the rule. Da Vinci did not care. The Octopus organization invested enormous resources into opening this opportunity. These are the conditions. Nobody argued further. Nobody possessed the authority. The old master finally placed the bag down. His expression gradually became serious. Far more serious than before. The next matter is more important. The hall immediately quieted. Even the strongest geniuses paid attention. Da Vinci looked toward the giant projection screen displaying the world tree. Several enormous cracks now covered the golden pod. The image alone felt unsettling. Then he spoke. The world tree blessing is behaving abnormally. The words instantly attracted everyone's attention. According to all available records, the internal energy fluctuations are approximately 3 times higher than previous openings. Several elders behind him exchanged uneasy looks. Even they lacked explanations. Da Vinci continued. We do not know the reason. That statement caused the hall to become completely silent. If even Da Vinci did not know, then nobody knew. The old master looked at every participant individually. The opportunities inside may be greater. The dangers may be greater as well. To be continued. Hope you liked today's video. Join the community by subscribing and dropping a like. I'll be back with another update as soon as possible. See you then.